In this lesson, what we're going to learn about is sorting and filtering by using macro. So in basics, what do you know about sorting? So it's just sort data however you want it. Isn't that what you get? Like ordering them. So how does that fall in the same lesson as sorting macros and filtering macros? So how do you do it? I will show to you one by one. Firstly, what I will show you is sorting and then go to filtering macro. So first off, in this lesson, you're gonna like let loose of this use relative reference. I mean, just don't use it, okay? Because it's better when you use the absolute cell reference, okay? So what we're gonna do, if we have this turned or clicked on, just click it again so it's not turned on. So now what I will show you is cell filtering. I mean, firstly, what I will show you is sorting. So what I'm going to do first is, if I have to select it all, just click on here. It will always select all of them. But we have sorting in data. You can see that all of them are filtered. Just click on sort, or you can just cut it. In fact, what I'm going to do first is, an example, just record a macro. You can do it. Just click on record macro. Just make sure to see if you have any macro there. So what I'm going to do first is just record macro, which is macro 1. You can do it or maybe don't do it, because I'm just showing you how to do sorting. So what I'm going to do next is just go to data, click on sort. Now you can see that there is sort by date, sort on, and order. So an example, I'm going to add a level. First I'm going to sort it by injury location and then age group. Now what I'm going to do is just press OK. Now you can see that injury location, abdomen, arms, all of them are now in order and all of them are sorted. So this is injury and then the age group, okay? Now what I'm going to show you is how you can like use it in macro, and then later on I will show you by filtering. So what I'm going to do next is again like sort all of them, and then what I'm going to do is add a level or maybe add more level. What I'm going to do is sort by gender now, then shift, and then by department. Now what I'm going to do is just press OK. Now you can see that all of them are now sorted in a way however I want it to be, okay? Now firstly what I'm going to do is, when I'm going to apply or use macro to filter all the data, firstly what I'm going to do is just go to developer mode, and then what I'm going to do is just click on this record macro, okay? Record macro. What I'm going to do first is an example. Now I want it to be like, okay, just rename anything. Now what I want it to be injury, then I want incident type, okay? Now this is going to be Control H, which I use basically, but you can just put it anywhere you want, okay? Okay, I forgot that you can't add spaces there. So what I'm going to do is add in an underscore. My bad. Now just press OK, and now you can see that this is recording all the macros. Now what I'm going to do is just go to data, click on sort, and then what I'm going to do is change it to plant, report type, and then double K day, okay? Now an example, I want to sort it on, okay, I don't want it to A to Z, but I want it to be Z to A. So what I'm going to do is just click on it, Z to A to Z. Okay, let's stick to Z to A. Now what I'm going to do is just press OK. Now this macro has been saved, so I'm going to do just go to developer mode and then just stop recording. Now this macro has been saved. An example, what I'm going to do is maybe want another one, and I want to make them show in a button so that if anyone does not want to like do this process over and over again, so I'm gonna make it easier for them so that when they click one of the buttons, it's just gonna sort or filter all of the data however they want it to be. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just click on insert, and then you can see that form controls and ActiveX controls. So what I'm gonna do is just stick to them. Example, I'm sticking to this. Make a box or however you want it to be, your box, and then I'm gonna use the macro. Just press on OK. This is button 1, which is gonna be injury. This is not working, my bad. What I'm gonna do is just edit text, injury. Okay, this has been saved. Okay, now an example, I want it to be a bit different. Okay, so an example, I can add more macros. An example, now I want it to be, okay, just press on record macro first, and then we're gonna go to data, and then click on sort. My bad, we have to use the filter mode. Select all of them. Yes, all of them are filtered. Press on sort again, double K day, year, and then incident cost. Okay, so largest to smallest, or smallest to largest, smallest to largest, not C to A but A to Z. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just press on OK, and now it's also done. So I'm going to go to developer mode again, stop the recording. Make sure that before starting your work, press on this start recording macros. Okay, so that you record a macro instead. Your macro is not going to be saved. Okay, now just press. Now I'm going to select another one right over here. You saw that I didn't add another macro, an example, so this is just macro 2, paste macro 2, and now injury. When you press on it, now when you press injury, you can see that injury has been opened up, but when you select this again, now you can see that the dates and then the injury location, gender, age group, and however you want it to be is done. You can also do a lot of them. And now what I'm going to do is add in a clear button, or clear all of the data, or an example, not clear all of the data but get back to its default state. So what I'm going to do is just select on develop mode, record a macro again. So in fact what I'm going to do is just record macro, let it be macro 3. Okay, so select all of them, go to data, sort. Now what I'm gonna do is maybe like just clear. Okay, just clear all of them, that's it. So after like selecting and clearing all of them, that's gonna just go back to its revert itself. Now what I'm gonna do is just go to developer and then stop the recording. So what I'm gonna do next is, as it's done, make another button which says clear. That'll be macro 3. Okay, it's gonna be okay, that'll be clear. So let's go to button 2, injury. Now what I'm gonna do is just clear. Now it has all turned back to its reverted self. Okay, so this is how you use sorting and filtering by using recording a macro. So first thing you have to keep in mind that don't use relative reference, but instead use just record macro or absolute relative reference or absolute cell reference. Okay, so now let's move on to the next lesson.